Hello everybody, at 0626 here, and I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. So real quick before I begin today's commentary, do me a favor, follow me on all the social media stuff you see down in the description. My Twitter, my Facebook, my Twitch, because I know that's hopefully going to be starting up again very soon. More news to come on that. And of course you can always subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss an upload from yours truly, because we all know YouTube doesn't work the way it's supposed to. And of course, last but certainly not least, check out the 69 Whiskey podcast. If you're not a prude, come check out some fun, not safe for work talks and action on there. More big things are coming for us in the near future. You just have to stay tuned to all of our social medias to know what's going on. So, I have discussed professional fighting ad nauseum in some cases before. Today will be another one of those days where I kind of discuss it, and I'm just really disappointed by it. As we all know, about a week or two ago now, the Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight took place. And from what I have seen, and I have been a proponent for making fights and fight promotions, have a spectacle around the fights. Have the presentation be cool. Have a cool stage. Have some, maybe some pyro, no matter how big it may be. Have a little bit of pyro. Make the fighters feel like stars. Make them feel like they're out. Make them hype them up and make like they're gonna kick ass. Of course they have some people have like cool stages. Some people have, or at least most fighters have cool entrance music, to hype them up and shit. Like they have that, but they don't have the cool stages. They don't have the pyro. You don't really see oftentimes people rapping or singing the guys out to the ring. And it has happened very seldomly, depending on the actual organization. It just I want it to be like at least I want big fights and big pay-per-views to feel like a spectacle. Kind of like maybe not to the level of WrestleMania, because I think that's too big, but WrestleMania-esque spectacle. And I'll get to the whole professional wrestling versus MMA and combat sports in a second, but this Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight that took place a few weeks ago that made millions of dollars for whatever reason, I had no interest in it, and I wanted Ben Askren to win because I don't like Jake Paul, because I don't think Jake Paul is a real boxer. To me, the entire show, based on what I was reading online and what I saw as it was happening, was not so much of a spectacle as it was a mockery of professional sports and professional fighting. I think if you watch this show, you really got scammed out of money. Not just for the Jake Paul-Ben Askren decision that took place, which I still question, and even that alone is like, what the fuck? This entire show, based on what I was hearing, just makes a mockery of professional fighting. It really rubs me the wrong way, because I don't want to say I'm a purist, because I think that's the wrong word to use, but in this sense I'm a bit of a purist where the fighters have to matter. The fights that are taking place have to have some sort of weight to them. Whether it's like a contender title fight, like where the guy who wins is the next one up in their weight class to get a title fight, shit like that, or a guy is grinding his way to like his fourth victory to even get into the top 10 or top 15, one of those, by fighting a ranked fighter. Like, those to me are pretty big fights. I want to see fights like that be hyped up, and I want to see like fighters matter. You know what I mean? When I see shit like Jake Paul and a lot of other YouTubers that have been doing fighting, whether it's his brother Logan Paul or KSI, the Logan Paul, the second Logan Paul KSI fight kind of was done a little bit better because it was presented in a much more professional manner, because there was a lot of boxing action to take place that actually didn't matter in the long run. Like, there was this really highly touted young prospect that was a champion that was being highly touted by the commentators as a future star in boxing, and that was really cool to see. I enjoyed that. I had heard a few things about other fights, but I'm really just sick of all these YouTubers and celebrities just going on doing boxing, making some money off of it. It really just comes off as shitty, man. As a guy that loves professional fighting, whether that would be MMA, boxing, kickboxing, etc. Like, come on, man. Like, just respect the sport for once, like, or a little bit, you know? Like, Jake Paul is actually out here thinking he beat a guy that has notoriously bad striking and much better grappling, and he thinks he's a professional fighter. He's like, oh man, what's next for, you know, I want bigger things in boxing, blah blah blah. Dude hasn't even fought like an actual legit guy. He's only fought like what the fuck is that dude? It's the basketball player, Nate Robinson. Like, he's fought Nate Robinson and like one other fucking schmuck, I think, before that. Like, who gives a fuck? You know, like, who gives a fuck about Jake Paul as a boxer, bro? Like, just because he generates clicks doesn't mean he's actually fucking mattering and he's actually doing anything in the fight game. You know, he hasn't done shit, honestly. It's like embarrassing to watch. You know what I mean? A lot of people, including myself, were hoping Ben Askren would somehow get like incredible striking and just fucking destroy the guy, but that obviously didn't happen. And we all know the stoppage was incredibly questionable if you actually pay attention to fights and know how the referee is supposed to react in a boxing match, in professional boxing match, that is. But man, I don't know. I'm just sick of seeing mockeries of the fight game. Like, especially, like I've said it before, champs and super fights, that too. I hate that shit too, because it comes off as, to me, it's a horrible decision to make like champ fights, man. It doesn't come off nearly as well as how they do it in professional wrestling. I think professional wrestling does it so much better in that regard. And, you know, just look at the history books, man. You'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's commentary. Might catch some flack for this one because it involves everyone's favorite golden boy, Jake Paul, but I don't really give a fuck. See you guys later.